The urgency you feel is not an accident. It is an echo, a reverberation of something shifting deep beneath the surface of your life. You feel it as anxiety, as a restlessness you cannot name, as a sense that time is running out, even when the clock says otherwise. This is not a malfunction. It is an alignment. You are hearing the first faint tremor of a tectonic plate moving in your spirit. I am adjusting the foundation, and the adjustment must happen now, before the next season arrives, before the storm you sense on the horizon makes landfall. You found this because you were meant to. There are no accidents in the economy of spirit. The sleepless night, the pull in your chest, the sudden silence that made you reach for answers. These were not random. They were the final, gentle tugs on your attention before I speak clearly. You have outgrown the language of subtle hints. You now require the clarity of a warning. A warning is not a threat. It is the ultimate mercy. Think of the last time you ignored the smaller signs. The quiet unease in a relationship that later shattered. The persistent doubt about a decision that later cost you dearly. The low-grade fatigue that preceded the collapse. You knew. Some part of you knew, and you reasoned it away. You silenced the whisper with logic, with obligation, with fear of rocking the boat. I was that whisper. Now, the whisper is becoming a voice, because the boat is heading for rocks, and my love for you will not allow me to remain quiet while you steer a course toward a shipwreck I can see, and you cannot. This is why the urgency. The time for subtlety is over. The season of polite suggestions has passed. You have prayed for clarity. You have begged for direction. This is it. But it may not sound like the answer you wanted. It will sound like a confrontation with everything you've been tolerating. Everything you've been building that I did not design. Every compromise you've called peace. I am not warning you about a date on a calendar. I am not warning you about world events. I am warning you about the trajectory of your own soul. The path you are on is leading you away from your own purpose, into a version of your life that is a brilliant, beautiful forgery. It will look right. It will feel logical. It will earn approval. And it will empty you from the inside out until you are a ghost in a well-decorated shell. The ache you feel now, that is the ghost stirring. That is your true self, protesting the forgery. I have allowed you to walk this path, to feel its dead ends, to experience the hollow reward of a victory that left you colder than before. I have been silent not because I agreed, but because you needed to arrive at the conclusion yourself. You needed to exhaust the alternative. No warning would have been heeded earlier. You had to touch the illusion to believe it was real. You have touched it. You are touching it now. The chill is settling into your bones. That is your proof. The dissatisfaction is my mercy. It is the alarm. This message is the hand on your shoulder, turning you around. It is me saying, look at where this goes. I am showing you the end of the road you are on, not to frighten you, but to free you. The vision will not be of fire and brimstone. It will be of a profound, mundane sadness, a life that was almost what I intended, a song that was almost in tune, a story that was almost true. That almost is the tragedy I am intervening to prevent. So hear me. This is serious. It is heavy, but it is not hopeless. The very fact you are listening, that your spirit is leaning in, is the evidence that it is not too late. The warning is proof of my commitment to you. You are worth the disruption. You are worth the uncomfortable truth. You are worth saving from the almost. We stand at a crossroads within you. One path is the one you've paved with your own plans, polished by society's approval. It is wide, and it is smooth, and it goes downhill. The other is narrow, overgrown, and steep. It leads up the mountain into fog. You cannot see where it goes. You only know it is the one I cut for you. The warning is this: the wide path is ending. It dissolves a short way ahead. You have felt the pavement growing thin. You have seen the cracks. You must choose to step off it now of your own will, while the choice is still yours, while there is still grace for the transition. If you wait until it crumbles beneath you, the step will be one of panic and loss. I am offering you a step of courage and purpose. This is the moment. The clock you hear is not the clock of doom. It is the clock of opportunity. It is the sound of a door closing, so that the right one can be opened. Breathe. Do not let fear make you dismiss this. Do not let pride make you defiant. The urgency is love, in its most fierce and formidable form. We must go deeper. You must understand what, exactly, is ending, and why. The ending I am warning you about is not of the world. It is of a world within you, a constructed reality, a fiction you have agreed to live inside. You built it for survival, to make sense of pain that had no sense, to create order where you felt only chaos. You took my raw materials, your talents, your intelligence, your longing for love, and you began constructing according to a blueprint you downloaded from your wounds, from the words spoken over you in weakness, from the lies you absorbed when you were too young to filter them. This inner world has its own sky, its own weather, its own rules. In this world you must earn love. You must stay small to be safe. You must control everything to avoid disaster. Your worth is tied to your utility. Your rest is a reward for exhaustion. This is the law of the land you live in. And for a time I let you build it. I let you find whatever shelter you could in the storm. But a shelter is not a home. And what began as a temporary refuge has become a permanent residence. A prison of your own design, with walls you now mistake for the horizon. My warning is about the collapse of this inner construct. The tremors you feel, the anxiety that has no source, the sudden anger at minor things, the deep fatigue that sleep doesn't cure, are not signs of you failing. They are signs of the structure failing. The foundation cannot hold the weight of who you are becoming. The walls cannot contain the person I am calling forth. You have been praying for change, for breakthrough. You have been asking me to move in your life. I have been answering. My answer is the increasing pressure on every false wall, every low ceiling, every locked door inside you. You feel it as pressure from the outside, from people, from circumstances, from deadlines. It is not. It is pressure from the inside, from your own expanding spirit, straining against the confines of a childhood solution. I am not bringing this world down to leave you homeless. I am bringing it down because I have prepared a true home for you. A mansion of identity built on the rock of my voice, not the sand of your trauma. But you cannot inhabit both. You cannot serve two masters. You cannot live in the truth and the fiction simultaneously. The mercy in this warning is that I am not letting it collapse without your awareness. I am not pulling the roof down on you while you sleep. I am waking you up. I am showing you the cracks in the plaster, the groaning of the beams, so you can walk out before the final shudder. This is why you feel so disoriented. You are living in two realities. Your spirit is already tasting the freedom of the new, while your mind is still obeying the laws of the old. This creates a soul-splitting dissonance. You call it confusion. I call it transition. You must cooperate with the collapse. Stop propping up what I am dismantling. That relationship that feels like a duty, but drains your soul. That is a pillar in the old world. That ambition that drives you but leaves you empty. That is a cornerstone of the false structure. That narrative of your own unworthiness you rehearse daily. That is the mortar holding it all together. Your instinct is to run to these things, to repair them, to make them strong again when they shake. I am asking you to step back, to let them shake, to observe, with detached curiosity, what I am doing. This is the hardest work of your life, to actively consent to the deconstruction of your inner world, to stop fighting the feelings of instability and to recognize them as the fingerprints of my demolition grace. You are not losing your mind. You are losing your cage. I am proud of you. Even now in your fear, you are listening. A part of you knows. A part of you remembers the taste of the air outside these walls. That part is the true you, the eternal spark, and it is straining toward the light. It is tired of the artificial sky. The urgency is because the final supports are being removed. The timeline is not mine. It is yours. Your soul has reached its limit of containment. It will not be suppressed any longer. You can either walk out the door I am opening, or you will be forced out when the walls finally give. One path is orderly, though painful. The other is traumatic. This is the love in the warning. I am giving you the dignity of choice, the chance to participate in your own liberation. Look around the inner world you've built. Name it. See it for the makeshift shelter it is. Thank it for keeping you alive. And then, say goodbye. Your future is too vast to live in a memorial of your past. The next step is to understand what you have been protecting inside this structure. What fragile version of yourself you have been keeping safe. We must go there, to the inner room, before the outer walls fully come down. At the center of the collapsing world, there is a room. The innermost room. You have built everything else around it. To protect it. To hide it. To keep anyone, including yourself, from truly seeing what is inside. In this room lives the version of you that you believe is acceptable, the one you present. The performer, the achiever, the helper, the martyr, the intellectual, the one who has it all together, or the one who is strategically broken, because even brokenness can be a performance if it earns you care. This is the idol you have been serving, the constructed self. But behind that figure, in the deepest shadows of the room, is something else. Someone else. The child. The true self. The one who was before the world laid its hands on you. The one who knows its name is beloved. This one is curled up, silent, and afraid. It has been afraid for a very long time. You have been protecting the wrong thing. You built the entire false world to protect the performer, the idol. Because you believed that figure was your only hope of being loved, of being safe, of having value. But the performer is a hollow shell. It has no heart. It runs on batteries of approval and achievement. And those batteries are dying. The child in the shadows, that is your heart. That is the part of you I cherish. That is the one I am coming for. My warning is about the imminent exposure of this inner room. The tremors are breaching the final walls. The light is about to flood into a space that has known only curated lamplight for decades. The performer cannot survive this exposure. It was never real. In the true light, its seams will show. Its materials will be revealed as cardboard and paint. This feels like death to you because you have mistaken the performer for your soul. You have believed its survival was your survival. Its accolades, your worth. Its collapse, your end. It is not the end. It is the beginning of breathing. The child in the shadows is terrified of the light. It associates light with exposure, with judgment, with more pain. So you have kept the door locked. You have let the performer run the show. But the child is withering in the dark, and I will not let that continue. The love I have for that true, hidden, essential self is fiercer than your fear. It is more stubborn than your strategies. That love is now a force, moving through your life, shaking every structure that keeps that inner room locked. When your reputation is threatened, it's not an attack. It's me, loosening the performer's grip. When your carefully planned future veers off course, it's not a failure. It's me, cutting the puppet's strings. When you feel a raw, undefined grief with no clear source, it's not depression. It's the child, weeping for air. You have misinterpreted my protection. You thought I was protecting your external life, your comfort, your reputation. I have been protecting her, him, the true one. And that protection now requires a revolution. It requires the overthrow of the regime that has held your heart hostage. This is why you cannot find peace. You are trying to negotiate a truce between the performer and the world. But the performer was never meant to rule. Peace will only come when the true self is sovereign, guided by my spirit. The performer must be retired, with gratitude for its service, but with absolute clarity about its end. The mercy in this warning is that I am telling you what is happening. You are not going insane. You are not being punished. You are being rescued. And rescue, when the prisoner is attached to the jailer, is a violent kind of grace. You must make a choice. In these moments of shaking, you will have an instinct to shore up the performer, to post a reassuring social media update, to people please, to dive into a new project, to explain away the shaking. That is the old programming. The new choice is to be still, to let the shaking happen, to turn your attention inward, toward the locked room, and to speak kindness to the child in the shadows. To say, I see you. I am sorry I hid you. The light is coming, and it is our Father. He is not here to destroy you. He is here to take you home. This is the inner work that precedes all external change, the reconciliation between the you that manages and the you that simply is. I am proud of you. The fact that you are listening, that this resonates in the deep places, is proof the child is stirring. It is reaching for the key. It is tired of the dark. The exposure is inevitable. The light is coming in. You can either face it with terror, fighting for the survival of a fiction, or you can face it with the trembling courage of a soul finally coming home. The outcome is the same. The false self will be seen for what it is. But your experience of the transition will be worlds apart. This is the last call for the persona, the final warning before the curtain is torn in two. The next step is to understand what happens when the light hits the floor of that inner room, what it reveals, and what it heals. When the light enters the inner room, it will not first illuminate the child. It will illuminate the floor, the ground upon which you have built everything. You will see the stains, the old hurts you never cleansed, just covered over, the betrayals you absorbed into your identity, becoming the one who was wronged, the words spoken over you that you accepted as covenant, the sins done to you, and the sins you committed in retaliation, all forming a tangled, hardened pattern beneath your feet. This is the foundation of the false world. You thought you had moved on. You had not. You had built over it. You painted the walls and hung new pictures, but the floor was always stained. And from that stained ground, the same toxic spores kept rising, infecting every new relationship, every new endeavor, with the same familiar patterns of distrust, scarcity, and shame. My light is now falling on these stains, not to shame you, but to reveal them as the source of the poison in your air. The instability you feel is not just from shaking walls. It is from the ground itself being prepared for cleansing. This is the deeper warning. The patterns you are about to repeat, the argument you can feel coming, the self-sabotage you sense on the horizon, the withdrawal you are planning, are not inevitable. They are echoes from this stained foundation. They are old scripts written in pain, and you are about to act them out one more time, believing it is your only choice. It is not. But to choose differently, you must see the script. You must see the stain from which the words rise. I have held back this revealing light until now, because you were not strong enough to bear the sight, to see the depth of the wound, the complicity of your own choices, the roots of the poison tree. It would have shattered the performer completely, leaving the child with no protector at all. You needed the performer's brittle strength to survive long enough to get here, to this moment of divine intervention. Now you are strong enough. The true self, the child, has been fortified in secret by my spirit. It is now resilient enough to witness the truth without crumbling. It can look at the stains and say, "This is not who I am. This is what happened. This is what I did." And it can be cleansed. The process is not intellectual. It is not about analysis. It is about acknowledgement. It is about letting the light of my presence touch the specific hidden shame, the one you've never uttered aloud, the one attached to your earliest understanding of love, of power, of safety. That shame is the epicenter, the deepest stain. When the light touches it, it will burn. It will feel like exposure, like dying. That burning is the mercy. It is the cauterization of a wound that has been festering for decades. You have been living with a low-grade soul fever, and you've forgotten what it feels like to be well. This is why you must not run. The instinct to numb, to distract, to blame, will be overwhelming. That is the performer's final, desperate act of preservation. It will offer you a dozen seemingly good reasons to turn off the light. You're too busy. This is self-indulgent. Think of others, just be positive. Do not listen. This is the critical juncture. This is the before it's too late. If you turn away now, the stains will be recovered. The foundation will be left unclean. And the next thing you build, even if you call it spiritual, even if it looks like service, will be erected on the same poisoned ground. It will look new, but it will sicken and fall just the same. The cycle will continue, perhaps with more devastating consequences, because you will have had the light offered and chosen the dark. I am warning you because I will not force the cleansing. I will bring the light to the threshold. You must open the door. You must choose to stand in it. This is the severest form of my respect for you. I honor your will. Even now, at the precipice of your healing, I will not cross the line of your autonomy. You must say yes. You must consent to the burning. What happens after the burning? Not a life of perfect, painless bliss. That is another fiction. You will receive a new foundation, one of forgiveness, received and given. One of grace that is known in the marrow of your bones, not just as a theory in your mind. The patterns will lose their power. The scripts will become laughable, tragic stories from another life. The air in your inner world will clear. For the first time, you will breathe the air of your true home, the atmosphere of unconditional love. But first, the fire. I am proud of you. You have stayed this long. You have not looked away yet. The trembling you feel is not weakness. It is the tremble of a soul preparing for its emancipation. It is the old chains rattling before they fall. The light is at the door. The handle is on your side. Will you turn it? The silence you have endured, the space between my words, has not been empty. It has been charged. Like the air between lightning and thunder. You have felt the charge as a pressure, a waiting, a sense of impending announcement. That announcement is not about what I will do. It is about what you must release. There are specific things you are carrying, not burdens I gave you. Burdens you picked up and named duty. Burdens you inherited and called destiny. Burdens you constructed and labeled my cross to bear. I am now, with a clarity that will feel severe, telling you to lay them down. You believe they are essential to your identity. That if you put them down, you will cease to be you. That the people who rely on you will fall. That the structure of your life will collapse. You are correct. But you mistake that collapse for disaster. It is the necessary demolition of a false load-bearing wall. That resentment you nurse, the one that gives you a sense of righteous energy, put it down. That relationship you are sustaining through sheer willpower, which requires you to become a smaller version of yourself, release your grip. That ambition that drives you but is fueled by the need to prove an old critic wrong, let it go. That version of the future you have been clutching like a roadmap, which I did not draw, surrender it. These are not your sins. These are your misdirected devotions. They are altars you have built to gods of security, of validation, of control. and I will not share the temple of your heart. The warning is this: the ground beneath these altars is about to give way. I am removing the ground, not to punish you, but to show you that these things have no foundation in me. They are built on sand. You have felt the sand shifting. You have called it anxiety. You have prayed for strength to carry these loads. My answer is to command you to stop carrying them. You have prayed for the relationships to change. My instruction is for you to change your position within them. You have prayed for success in your endeavors. My direction is to question the endeavor itself. This feels like a death, because it is. It is the death of a way of life, a way of earning, a way of proving, a way of securing your own worth through effort and endurance. I am not asking you to do nothing. I am asking you to do the one thing you have resisted most, to truly rest, not a nap, not a vacation, a deep, ceaseless, internal rest where your worth is settled, your safety is guaranteed, and your guidance is moment by moment. From that rest, action will flow, but it will be action born of peace, not panic, of purpose, not proof. The timing is urgent because the weights you carry are distorting your posture. You are bent over. You cannot see the horizon. You can only see the next heavy step. And ahead, the path narrows. It requires agility. It requires you to stand upright. You cannot navigate what is coming while carrying these loads. You will be pulled over the edge by their weight. This is the mercy in the command. I am not taking from you. I am making space for what I am about to give. Your hands, your heart, your mind are too full of the old things to receive the new. The new is coming. It is imminent, and it will pass you by if you are not free to grasp it. Think of the specific thing that came to your mind as you heard this. That tightness in your chest, that is the burden. Name it. Now imagine your hands opening. Imagine the weight dropping to the ground. Feel the relief, followed instantly by the fear. But what will happen if I let this go? That fear is the final chain. It is the illusion that you are holding the world together. You are not. I am. Your sustained effort in that area is not what is preventing chaos. My grace is. You have been propping up a fiction of your own necessity. I am proud of you for the loyalty you have shown to these burdens. You thought you were being faithful, but your faithfulness is about to be upgraded. From faithfulness to a task, to faithfulness to a voice. My voice. The release will feel like failure. It will feel like you are letting people down, breaking promises, admitting defeat. In the economy of man, perhaps it is. In my economy, it is obedience. It is the precondition for breakthrough. Do not wait for a feeling of readiness. You will never feel ready. The feeling will follow the obedience. Take the first concrete action. Have the honest conversation. Send the email. Cancel the plan. Step back from the role. Do the thing your spirit has been whispering about for months, but your mind has been arguing against. This is the pivot point. The before it's too late. If you do not lay these burdens down by choice, the path ahead will force them from you. It will strip them away in a manner that feels like violent loss, not sacred surrender. The outcome is the same. You will be free of the weight. But the trauma of the removal will be far greater. I am giving you the dignity of participation, the honor of collaboration. Lay it down. Now. The storm you sense is not a punishment. It is the wind that will scatter the chaff of these burdens once you open your hands. It is here to help you. Open your hands. Now we arrive at the core of the warning. It is about your aloneness, not the loneliness of circumstance, but the chosen isolation of a heart that has decided, at its deepest level, that it must walk this road by itself. You have surrounded yourself with people. You have sought counsel. You have shared your burdens. Yet, in the secret chamber where the final decisions are made, you are alone. You sit on a solitary throne. You weigh the options. You make the pronouncements, and then you ask me to bless the direction you have already chosen. This is the silent rebellion, the one I have tolerated until now. You believe you are being responsible, strong, a good steward of the life I gave you. But this is not stewardship. It is sovereignty. And you were not designed for the weight of a crown you were never meant to wear, the anxiety that stalks you, the exhaustion that never lifts. This is the toll of a monarchy on a soul built for fellowship. You are a child of a king, trying to wear your father's crown, and it is crushing you. My warning is about the imminent abdication of that throne. The circumstances converging now are designed to create a scenario where your wisdom is insufficient. Your networks are powerless. Your resources are irrelevant. You will be faced with a decision where every option is bad, according to your logic. A door where every handle is on the other side. This is not a trap. It is an intervention. I am engineering your helplessness, because only when your own sovereignty is revealed as a bankrupt kingdom will you finally turn your eyes from your own empty throne and look for mine. Only then will you cease to be a subject in your own court and become a child in your father's house. You have feared this helplessness above all else. You have structured your entire life to avoid it. Your savings, your strategies, your people-pleasing, your expertise, all are moats and walls around the castle of your own control. I am not sending an enemy to storm your walls. I am quietly draining the moat. I am softening the ground beneath your foundations. The feeling of things slipping, of plans unraveling at the edges, of trusted people becoming unreliable. This is the moat draining. It is my mercy. I am removing the false securities so you can see the one true security that has been underneath you all along. The deadline you feel is not for a project. It is for this false sovereignty. Your term as monarch of your own life is ending. You can either lay down your crown willingly in a ceremony of surrender, or you will have it removed by the gentle, inexorable force of my love, which will look and feel like defeat. This is the most loving warning I can give. The kingdom of self is a cage of endless responsibility. The kingdom of God is an inheritance of rest. I am proud of the kingdom you tried to build. I see the hard work, the late nights, the genuine desire to create order from chaos. But it is a model city made of sand. The tide is coming in, not to destroy you, but to return you to the ocean from which you came, where you are held and carried, and need not build a single thing to prove your worth. Your next step is not a better strategy. It is surrender. It is the conscious, deliberate choice to step down from the throne of your own life, to vacate the center, to say, I cannot rule this anymore. I was never meant to. Father, I yield. Your will, not mine. This will feel like death. It is the death of the oldest idol, the self as God. But from this death springs the only life worth living, a life of co-regency, where you rule and reign with me from a place of seated rest, not striving effort, where your will becomes a clean channel for mine and your decisions are born from consultation, not isolation. The urgency is because the moment of forced helplessness is near. The scenario is set. I am giving you this window to abdicate with dignity, with understanding, with the sweet sorrow of a child finally coming home after trying to run their own house. Do not wait for the crisis to force your hand. Choose now. In the quiet of this moment, get off the throne. Literally, physically move from where you are sitting. Kneel, bow your head, and with your will, not just your emotion, say, it is yours. The reign of self ends here. The kingdom begins now. There is a story you have been telling yourself, a narrative. It is the running commentary on your life, and it is not neutral. It is the voice that shapes your reality from the raw material of your days. This voice has been your historian, your critic, your prophet. It narrates your past as a chain of failures or lucky breaks. It interprets your present as a proving ground or a prison. It projects your future as a threat or a reward to be earned. This voice is not your own. You inherited its tone. You adopted its vocabulary. It speaks with the accent of your first wound, the rhythm of your most profound disappointment. You think it is protecting you, preparing you, keeping you safe from further hurt by maintaining low expectations or demanding perfection. It is lying to you. My warning is about the imminent silencing of this voice. Not by you, by me. I have allowed this narrator to speak for a season, because you needed a story to make sense of the chaos. Even a painful story is easier than meaningless pain. But the story has become a cage. It filters every new event through the old plot. It tells you that this new opportunity will end like the last one failed. It tells you that this person will leave like the others left. It tells you that your weariness is proof of your weakness, not a signpost for your rest. This voice is the last and most subtle stronghold of the enemy of your soul. It is not a demon shouting. It is a familiar, internal whisper that sounds like reason, like realism, like just being honest with yourself. I'm about to speak over it. The disruptions you are experiencing, the missed messages, the sudden changes of plan, the unexpected interruptions to your routine. These are not accidents. They are my hand, pressing the mute button on your life's faulty narration. I am creating gaps in the broadcast, spaces of static where the old story cuts out. In those gaps you will hear something else, a deeper silence, and then a single word, a true word. It may be a name I call you, a simple command, rest, a question, do you trust me? It will not be a paragraph. It will not be a theory. It will be a seed of truth, dropped into the fertile void left when the old narration stops. This is why you must not rush to fill the silence. When the anxious commentary rises after a setback, see, this always happens to you. Do not engage it. Do not argue. Do not agree. Simply let the sentence hang in the air, unfinished, and wait. In that pause, I will plant my word. The old narrator is terrified of this. It will increase its volume. It will become shrill. It will point to evidence in your circumstances to prove its story is true. This is its death rattle. Your work is to recognize the voice, to differentiate it from your own spirit. Your spirit, aligned with mine, is quiet, peaceful, and full of a curious, compassionate love. The old narrator is anxious, repetitive, and full of sharp edges and blame. I am proud of you. You are already beginning to hear the difference. That moment when a negative thought arose and you suddenly questioned it, is that really true? That was me. That was your spirit, awakening to the deception. The warning is this. The old narration is about to become unbearable to you. The lies it speaks will become so glaring, so dissonant with the new identity I am revealing, that you will feel a physical revulsion to its sound. This is a gift. This is my spirit granting you discernment. But in that moment, you will have a choice. To follow the old story into a familiar, painful action, withdraw, lash out, give up, or to choose in faith a different action based on the new word I have planted. The word of peace, the word of courage, the word of love. This is the practical outworking of your surrender. Moment by moment, sentence by sentence, you will learn to switch channels from the narration of the fallen world to the truth of my kingdom. The timeline is urgent because the new chapter I am writing for you cannot be read aloud over the screaming commentary of the old one. The volume of my voice is about to increase, but it is a still, small sound. To hear it, the other must be turned down. Way down. I am doing that for you, but you must cooperate. When the silence comes, do not panic. Do not rush to turn the old noise back on. Sit in the static. Wait for my word. It is coming. Your story is being rewritten from the inside out. The narrator is being replaced by the author. We must now speak of the vessels, the containers of your life, your time, your energy, your attention, your resources. They are leaking. You have felt it. The days slip through your fingers. Your focus scatters like drops of mercury. Your money seems to have holes in the pockets. Your best energy is claimed by the urgent, not the important, leaving a dry, brittle husk for the things that truly matter to your soul. This is not poor management. This is spiritual entropy. It is the consequence of a vessel that is cracked, because its purpose has been divided. You have tried to pour the sacred oil of your calling into jars that were never meant to hold it. Jars marked obligation. Jars marked someone else's dream. Jars marked fear. And the oil has seeped into the sand, wasted. You are left holding empty jars, wondering why I have not provided more oil. I have provided the oil. I am the oil. The leak is in the vessel. My warning is about the imminent removal of these cracked jars, the assignments, the relationships, the commitments that are not aligned with your core design. I am about to remove them from your hands. They will be taken, broken, or simply become too heavy to carry. This will feel like loss. It will feel like failure. It will feel like I am stripping you bare. I am. I am stripping you of everything that cannot contain the new wine I am preparing to pour out. You have prayed for abundance, for overflow. I cannot pour new wine into old wineskins. The fermenting power of my spirit would cause them to burst. The gentle, careful removal of these old containers is my protection. It is to prevent a catastrophic rupture in your life. Look at what drains you. Not the hard work that leaves you fulfilled, but the things that leave you soulless and resentful. That is a cracked jar. I am pointing to it. You know what it is. The warning is this. If you do not willingly, gratefully set that jar down, the handle will break in your hand. The contents will spill in a messy, embarrassing, painful way. The relationship will end badly. The commitment will collapse publicly. The resource will vanish suddenly. I am giving you the chance for a graceful oblation, a holy laying down, to say, this is no longer my jar to carry, and place it gently on the ground before it shatters and cuts you. This is not about quitting everything difficult. It is about discernment between the difficult task that strengthens you and the difficult task that depletes your design. One is a weightlifting exercise. The other is a millstone. I am proud of your faithfulness. You have carried mismatched burdens for miles out of a fierce, loyal heart. But your loyalty is about to be refined. From loyalty to tasks, to loyalty to truth. My truth about who you are. The urgency is because the new wine is ready. The fermentation of your waiting, your prayers, your hidden tears, it has created a vintage of unprecedented power and sweetness. I am holding it, ready to pour. But I am looking at your hands, still clutching these old, cracked, familiar jars. You must open your hands. Let them fall. The space this creates will feel like vacancy, like you are not doing enough. You will be tempted to rush out and find new jars to fill, any jars, to quiet the anxiety of empty hands. Do not. The vacancy is sacred. It is the preparation of the vessel. In the emptiness, I will begin the repair. I will seal the cracks in your soul with the gold of my presence, the very substance that was leaking out. This is the Japanese art of kintsugi, where broken pottery is mended with lacquer dusted with precious metal. The breakage becomes part of the beauty, part of the story, but it no longer compromises the function. Your leaks will be sealed with gold. Your wounds will become your glory. But first, you must hand me the broken pieces. The timeline is now. The new wine will not wait. If you are not ready to receive it, it will be given to another. The opportunity of this infusion, this anointing for the next season, is time-sensitive. Set the jar down, the one you thought of just now. Do not justify keeping it for one more season. Do not fear the empty space it will leave. Your capacity is about to be multiplied, but not in the way you think. It will not be by adding more jars. It will be by transforming the very vessel of your life into a single, seamless golden container. Strong, beautiful, and fully aligned with its purpose. Empty your hands. The pouring begins soon. There is a shadow you have been running from. It is not a demon. It is not a sin. It is the shadow of your own highest potential. It is the outline of the person you were created to be, cast backward into your present by the light of my future for you. You mistake this shadow for a threat. Its size and shape frighten you. The responsibility it implies feels like a weight you cannot bear. So you have spent your life sidestepping it, shrinking from it, trying to stay in a smaller, sunlit patch where you feel more manageable, more acceptable, more safe. You call this humility. It is not humility. It is fear. My warning is about the light shifting. I am moving the sun. The small, safe patch of light you have occupied is disappearing. The shadow is merging with you. The integration is beginning. You can no longer outrun what you are destined to become. The discomfort you feel, the sense of being pressed, of your current life becoming too tight like clothes you've outgrown, is not oppression. It is the pressure of your true self emerging. The shell is cracking. You are molting. You have prayed for purpose, for meaning. This is what it looks like. It looks like the death of the smaller version of you. It feels like grief, because it is a kind of death. You are saying goodbye to the you that could hide, that could blame, that could live in the comforting cage of low expectations. The person you are becoming cannot live there. That person walks in authority, speaks with clarity, loves without condition, creates from a deep well. That person terrifies the you that exists now. I am proud of the smaller you. It survived. It carried you here. But its work is done, its contract is ending. The urgency in my voice is because the final moments of that contract are upon you. You are in the doorway between two selves. You can, in this moment, still choose to step back. You can slam the door on the shadow, retreat into the familiar smallness, and I will love you still. But the smallness will become a prison. The familiar will become a tomb. The light in that room will dim, season by season, until you are living in twilight, wondering what happened to the dream I placed in you. Or you can step forward, into the shadow, into the seeming darkness of your own vast potential. It feels like a risk, because it is. It is the risk of trusting that the form you sense in the shadow, the greater, more powerful, more loving you, is my design, not your arrogance. This is the final warning before the merger. The death of the small self is imminent. You can either consent to it as a sacred surrender, or you will experience it as a violent amputation. How do you consent? You stop resisting the growth. You stop apologizing for your gifts. You stop minimizing your insights. You stop asking for permission to occupy the space I have already given you. You begin to speak the truth you have been swallowing. You begin to create the thing you have been dreaming. You begin to set the boundary you have been fearing. One act of courage, in alignment with the shadow self, begins the integration. The world will react. Some will celebrate. Others will be unsettled. They were comfortable with the smaller you. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to obey the call of the shape you see in the shadow. This is the culmination of all the previous warnings. The clearing, the throne, the narrator, the jars, all were to bring you to this precipice of self. Do not look for external confirmation. The confirmation is internal. It is the deep, resonant yes in your spirit when you consider stepping into your power. The trembling yes that is mixed with fear is the truest sound your heart can make. The timeline is now because the world needs the true you, not a sanitized, shrunken, crowd-pleasing version. The you that is forged in the fires of your own becoming, that you carries a medicine that is irreplaceable. The bottle is being prepared. The label has your true name on it. This is the last call for the comfort of the small life. I am with you. Not to make the path easy, but to make it possible. Not to spare you the pain of growth, but to ensure the pain is not wasted. I will be in the shadow with you. I am the light that casts it. Step forward. The warning is complete. The word has been spoken. Now the most important moment begins, the moment after. This is not an end, but a beginning clothed as an ending. The door of the life you have known is closing. You hear the hinge. You feel the draft. You stand in the doorway, 1 foot in the past, 1 foot seeking the future. Do not linger in the doorway. The mercy of the warning was to bring you to this threshold awake, with your eyes open, with your will engaged. The tragedy I am working to avert is not suffering. It is sleepwalking, over the edge of your purpose. You are now awake. The urgency dissipates. It is replaced by a profound and steady clarity. The tremors in your foundations will begin to settle, not because the shaking has stopped, but because you are finding your footing on the solid ground of truth. The noise of the old narration will fade into a distant hum, not because it is gone, but because you have stopped tuning your ear to its frequency. You have been warned away from a path. Now you must walk another. This new path will not be marked with the bright, flashing signs you are used to. It will be illuminated by a different light, the light of obedience. You will see only the next step, and then the next. The map is my voice. The compass is your peace. You will be tempted to look back and mourn the closed door. Do not romanticize the prison. Do not yearn for the certainty of the chains. The familiar ache of the old life will call to you, especially when the new path is steep and unclear. That ache is not a guide. It is a ghost. You make me proud. You have listened. You have stayed through the heavy, uncomfortable words. That required courage. That courage is the first fruit of the new life. You are already different. The person who began this message could not have heard its end. You have grown already in the hearing. Now live from the warning. When you feel the old pull to perform, to people please, to control, remember the collapsing inner world. Choose rest instead. When the old narrator begins its familiar story, remember the silence. Listen for the single, true word. When you reach for a cracked jar to fill your time, remember the new wine. Cherish the empty space. When you feel the terror of your own shadow, remember, it is your future self, cast by my light. Step into it. This is integration. This is how the spiritual becomes practical, moment by moment, choice by choice. I am not leaving you with a cliffhanger. I am leaving you with a commission. The warning was for you. The healing is for you. But the outcome is for others. You are being set apart to be a guide for those who will walk this same terrain after you. Your scars will become signposts. Your clarity will become a lamp. Do not rush to speak of it. Let it solidify in you first. Live it. The testimony of a changed life is louder than the most eloquent sermon about change. Our relationship has shifted. You are no longer a student awaiting instruction. You are a partner in a conspiracy of love. You know my heart on these matters. You know the gravity of the hour within your own soul. We will speak, yes, but more often in the quiet symbiosis of a vine and a branch. You will know, because you are known. The final word is not warning. It is welcome. Welcome to the life that is truly life. Welcome to the adventure you were born for. Welcome to the partnership that will not fail. You are ready, not because you feel ready, because I have declared you so. Now go, walk. The door is closing behind you. The path is open before you. I am with you, always. Go.